Are you thinking that it's time that your child is old enough that they can decide where they want to live and the judge is going to let them? Well, that may or may not be true. My name is Patrick Slaughter. I'm with LaFevor and Slaughter, and that's a really common myth that we hear all the time. I'll have a parent who says, hey, my child's a certain age and they get to decide where they want to live. Heck, I had a parenting plan modification action where that was the sole basis of the attempt to modify the plan. Was the kid just wanted to move, and the kid wanted to live with a parent that was going to let him eat pizza every night and give him Nutella whenever they wanted. Unbelievable. No, the judge isn't going to let a child just decide where they want to live. What the law says is that the judge can consider the reasonable preferences of a child 12 or over. Now, the most important words in there are may, meaning the judge don't have to listen to it, but can. And 2, reasonable. Reasonable preferences of a child, not just crazy. So that's what the law is. Now, I will tell you, as children get older, judges start recognizing that they have more ability to control their destiny than just what the court tells them or what the parents tell them. For example, if you have a 17-year-old boy who plays football, in high school, and he's about 6'2" and weighs about 250 pounds, if he tells you he ain't going to mom or dad's, and you say, oh yes you are, it ain't like you gonna pick him up and put him back in the car, spank him and take him. Now maybe you can, there's always an exception to something, but courts recognize that at some point as children mature, parents lose a certain ability to force them to do one thing or another. So it's been my experience that as a child reaches the age of 15, 16, and certainly 17, that courts are more deferential to what the child may like. But again, it's going to depend on whether what they like is reasonable. If the other parent, if the child wants to go live with the other parent who's got criminal problems, I don't know that a judge is going to allow that regardless. But in any situation, just because a child says, I want to go live with mom or dad, that doesn't mean that that's going to happen. Doesn't mean that that's automatically recognized by law. And if they're under 12 years old, it's probably not even going to be considered by the judge. So just want to put that in perspective. If you have any questions about that, because there's issues with your children and trying to decide where they're going to live and the other parents trying to force that, obviously pick up the phone, call us. We're happy to talk to you about it. But you can rest comfortable in your bed at night knowing a judge is not going to let your 8-year-old decide where he or she is going to live.